All right, we're talking 14-6A. We are here with Matt Harris, our Inside High School Sports Insider. 14-6A always last year came down between Spring and Spring Westfield in one of the best games of the year. I mean, we've been talking about it all week with the Hail Mary at the end there for Spring to win it, and it determined who was the top seed in Division I, so it meant something too. Are those two guys going to be the same guys that battle for the top this year as well?
Yeah, I would absolutely think so. Westfield is one of the better schools in Houston as far as talent replacement goes. They return Cardell Williams at quarterback. They return his backfield mate, Rodney Smith. But Williams' top three targets, wide receiver, are all gone. So Westfield has a little replacing to do around some core guys. It's kind of the same story on defense where Westfield returns the co-defensive MVP for the district, A.J. Holmes. They return some other guys on defense, but they also lose some talent. So they're going to have a little talent replacement to do there. But as we've seen over the years, Westfield's really good at winning district championships. So as far as their talent replacement goes, they do that at a very high level, and they return players at important positions like quarterback. And then you look at Spring, man. Spring returns an embarrassment of riches. They lose some really good wide receivers in Alden Bradley and Vincent Bass, but they return some good ones as well, including guys like Travis Sims, Isaiah Johnson that made all district teams. They return Myron Carter in the backfield, and obviously Bishop Davenport at quarterback after that miracle Hail Mary that gave Spring its first district title in quite a while, their first win over their rivals in Westfield in, I think it was 9 years. So next season shaping up to be pretty good between those two once again at the very top of 14-6A.
Well, in the rest of the district, we got a lot of Aldine teams. Decaney actually had a really impressive playoff game against Bridgeland before they ended up bowing out there. What do you say for the rest of the district and maybe some players we need to keep an eye out on?
I did that when I was doing research on Decaney. I totally forgot about that Bridgeland game, man. That game, I can't remember how many overtimes it went into, but 47-44, Bridgeland pulled it out on a Connor Wegman completion to Dylan Goffney there. But Decaney had a heck of a year in a tough district. They didn't keep it too close with Spring, but when they played Westfield, it was a 10-0 loss, and then they really took it to Bridgeland in round two. So overall, a really successful year for Decaney. But the tough part is they graduate a lot of talent. That includes district offensive MVP Dalen Williams at quarterback. They return Jaden Robertson and Jonah Wilson at wide receiver to kind of lead the charge on offense. But overall, a lot of talent to replace. But, man, big shout-out to the 2020 Decaney Wildcats because they were always an interesting watch. As far as other players to watch, Spring returns defensive district MVP or co-district MVP, I should say, Braylon Jones, and defensive newcomer Jeffrey Foster, in addition to 4 other all-district defensive performers. So Spring is set on defense. They're set on offense with 2 to 3 really good returning wide receivers, returning quarterback, returning running back, 2 returning all-district offensive linemen. Spring is set, and I think on paper, Spring is the best team in this district once again. But like I said, Westfield replaces talent with the best of them, and we'll see how that plays out this season. Definitely be circling that Spring Westfield game once again.
Absolutely. That's got the makings of game of the week, if you ask me. I mean, the Lions.
Yes, sir.
We talked about Decaney against Bridgeland. The Lions really took it to DeSoto in the playoffs. They were up 14-0 until old Claude Mathis tightened the screws on the defense there, and they ended up losing by a touchdown. But I can't wait for that Spring Westfield game. I know you'll be checking it out as well. I appreciate you joining us, and we're going to talk a little 15-6A next week.
Yes, sir.